Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 15 of Inktober Tangles. I'm Damy, and this is my little baby Monet here to help tangle along. And for the past 15 days, I have been working on Inktober prompts that were created by Stephanie Jennifer. She put the packet together, and I've chosen to take a very non-traditional Zentangle approach this year. I'm using one of these Ranger journals. And this is days 1 through 14 so far that I've tangled using inks and paints, paint marker, and Neocolors, Neocolor 2, the water soluble ones. So for those of you that have been following along and haven't been able to see everything all together, this is what I have done so far. So today we're going to do day 15. I'm going to switch over and I hope that you draw along with me. So for day 15, I have a little bijou tile here that I'm going to demonstrate on. And I'm going to take an 03 micron to draw with, to tangle with. And day 15 is tofube. And this is by Damy or Damy. Okay, so she starts it in a square, and since I have writing on here, I'm just going to put a little pencil string in here. And I'm going to start and make, it doesn't have to, it can be like a little wonky, it can be changed around. I'm going to make a X that's kind of off-centered. And I'm going to start in the left quadrant, top left, and I'm going to aura this line. And I'm going to curve it, come up, and hook around. So this is the shape that I'm going to be repeating. I'm going to go to the next section. I'm going to aura this one. I'm going to curve around and come in. Jump to the next line, aura, come down and loop around, aura, curve, and loop around. So once you have these 4 spaces, we're going to be doing some rounding. And just for the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to redefine this pencil line. Okay, so the beginning part, the middle part, I'm going to think of as floors, and I'm going to add a diamond shape and ink it in. So that part's going to be rounded. And then all of the sections that are meeting the square, those are going to be rounded as well. So all those lines, that initial X, I'm just redefining some of these lines to neaten it up. I'll have a little curve where it's meeting the square, going to the left and the right, and then inking it in. So I'll do that on all 4 sections that are meeting the side of the square. Like so. And then I'm going to add some extra weighting on these lines. So on the lines where it is meeting the edge, I will add a weighted line as well. And then on the inner part of the line, where it ends, I will add a little triangle. And even though these aren't 90-degree corners, we're going to think of them as corners, and I'm going to add some rounding, some weight with a little triangle coming out of these as well. The more that you connect and you have more squares, they almost start to look like, to me, marshmallow pieces. Right, so there you go. Really cool pattern. I'm going to continue this on this petal here. I'm excited to have one of these petals completely done. And I'm going to start with, I kind of want to tangle with the lighter color. And this petal is darker. So instead, I was going to do that one. I'm going to do this one instead. So I'm going to use this whole section here and I'm going to draw a line going across. I'm using a Posca paint marker here. Okay, so this is a lighter orange color, a peachy color. And I'm going to draw another line like this. So I'll start with my aura in the first section, staying inside of my petal and curve around. Go to the next straight line, aura, and curve, aura, and curve, aura, and curve. So now that I have this done, I'm going to stick with this paint marker and I'm going to do the little bits of inking in. So I could have added more sections here, but again, I'm using a pretty big points here. So I have less control over things not turning into blobs. So because of that, I didn't want to have areas too little of detail. That's Monet in the background. She's giving everybody kisses right now. So for me, making this larger, but I have to tell you, really super cool if you have lots of these shapes combined together, look really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to pause there with that inking in. And actually, I feel like this could be rounded a little bit more. I just got home from work. If you don't know me, I am a middle school art teacher. So Monet is home all day on her own and she's very excited. I'm back right now. So now I'm going to pick up the water soluble Neo Color 2s and I have a yellow here. I'm going to go around, make sure your marker is dry, and I'm going to outline this petal. And I feel like the marker part of this, seeing how I have the red in these other sections, just maybe needs something else, even though it's not part of the actual original pattern. I'm going to take red and I'm going to add an aura on this inner X, just to give it a little consistency throughout the petals. Okay, so I'm going to move to a orange neo color and I'm going to add some of this darker one behind the center of the flower as a shadow. And I'm going to do that as well on this bottom edge. And I'm not relying on a light source. So you might be like, well, the shadow came from the right and now it's coming from the left. That's totally fine. What's important is you're enjoying what you do. So don't overthink it. We don't have to have so many rules as if you were creating a realistic piece of artwork. I'm going to take this lighter orange and bring that next to this one. And maybe a little bit of yellow. So if you're following along with how I'm doing this, spacing is really going to help you out in whether or not you're going to be having to modify, use the same colors, change things around, because you may not have the same spacing as me. So I could wet this and make it smoother. I am not going to with this one. I am going to take my white Posca and add a few highlights on here. I'm going to, let's see, I think in the inside here, I'm going to add a white little curve and then along the edge. All right, so that is going to be the completed section for my drawing for today. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us today, and I hope you come back tomorrow. Please subscribe to my channel and hit like, and whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing it with joy.